because we're working together. So if student A is found in possession of these items, the information is given to the school resource officer, who then conducts an educational session with the student. There's nothing beyond that. If the ordinance was passed, we don't intend on coming into the school and telling the school on how to handle it. We still want the educators to do what they would do in those circumstances. We have no intentions of going in and taking over from the school. This is, we're there to assist them, but this would help us when these children are found out in the public or on private property, these parties having them. What we really didn't go into is those little devices, those little pods, right? They're called, they can get them full of marijuana, THC oil. Those of you that have ever noticed the odor of marijuana, it's very distinct, right? There's no odor with the pods. It's very easy to conceal. My daughter told me herself that the kids are vaping and using marijuana right in the class. Right in the class. They have to remove the doors from the bathroom location. I mean, it's crazy. It's like it's jail because there's so much vaping going on that the school administrators and school teachers, they just can't keep up with this. And that's why it's so important for us to have this. Now, I guarantee you're going to think I'm trying to trick you with the next thing I'm saying, but I'm really not. So a little bit of a law lesson. There's state statutes, right, which is done by legislation, and there's local ordinances, which is legislation basically through our municipal government. State statute will always trump municipal ordinance, but there's nothing that I've ever seen in the law that says we have to charge somebody with a state statute rather than a local ordinance, right? So there's no local ordinance for murder. You commit a murder, say in New Jersey, it's a state statute. But there is some statutes like disorderly conduct, possession of alcohol, where we have an ordinance that somewhat mirrors the state statute, but the punitive penalties for it are not as severe. A state law was introduced by Assemblyman Bucco for the illegal possession of underage vaping. Essentially what we're trying to do in ordinance, they're trying to make a state statute. If that's the case and we don't have something else, there will be more severe penalties for children and adults. Because if there's only a state statute, which they're going to identify this as a disorderly persons offense, which a local ordinance is less than a disorderly persons offense, we will have nothing else but to charge our juveniles and our adults under the age of 21 with state statute, which means that the juveniles will go to municipal court under a state statute. Under a local ordinance, we will have the option to issue or deal with it in a local ordinance setting where they're going to stay out of municipal court. The Title 26, the Clean Air Act, we've looked at, and it does identify the school as a public place. It does identify the device. But the health department, we've determined, are the ones that truly issue those summonses. Those summonses start at $250, $500, and then $1,000. So that's our other alternative that we potentially have if we don't have an ordinance to deal with this. And then the other state statute the lieutenant talked about really only regulates the sale of these products. And again, I think you went into it. We've been very proactive. We've been there to each location twice in 2018. We're gearing up to do it again in 2019 where we meet with the store owners. We make sure they have the publication, the poster. We give them a copy of the statute. We make sure they understand it. And we essentially ask for their cooperation with it. If we go back to the handout, just dealing with the juveniles again, Jessica is here, and you're more willing to say something or not, but she works again for the Department of Human Services, and she also was very big in assisting us with the means outside of the police department. So in Ellie's presentation, she talked about a lot of these kids haven't even developed their abilities to deal and cope with stress and anxiety, and that sometimes they're using these substances to self-medicate for something else that's going on in their life, some other type of stressor. So for the Center for Evaluation and Counseling, right, correctly, we can essentially refer our juveniles out to that agency that would be able to assist us with other, with the community service element and also educational service groups dealing with offense-specific types, such as, can you just throw a couple that are out there, if you don't mind?
Yeah. Well, so we're actually working to try to start a vaping/smoking education educational class.
Could you use the microphone, please?
Oh, sorry. So we're trying to create a vaping slash smoking alcohol educational class for such occasions. You know, we can't just, this is a issue that's just started coming up recently in many other towns besides your own town also. So we're working to put that together. In the meantime, we are utilizing the Center for Evaluation and Counseling and their program that they already have, which they do a lot of psychoeducational groups, and they focus on things like anger management, life skills, job skills, positive decision making, healthy choices, conflict resolution. So, I mean, I think any teenager can benefit from these classes and these topics. So right now, that's what the police would be utilizing. But hopefully, in the near future, we can actually start a program, an educational class specifically for vaping. Because I mean, I can guarantee you that most of the people who are smoking this stuff don't know most of what Ellie told us tonight. So, so that's what we're doing, and hopefully, we can get that into place soon.